is Win News.
Tonight, Ballarat Council again in the firing line with the release of a new report. Calls for regional residents to be some of the first to receive the COVID vaccine. And Ararat businesses start bouncing back from the pandemic. Good evening and welcome to Win News this Wednesday. Also tonight, Ballarat businesses gear up to support next month's Cycle Classic. Two independent reports commissioned by Ballarat Council's interim CEO have revealed inappropriate behaviours and a lack of budgeting processes. The findings will be the focus of tonight's meeting as the organisation looks to move past recent controversies.
Interim Ballarat CEO Janet Dorr was brought in to review the structure of the organisation and help restore community confidence.
I think Janet Dorr's been put in a position to be able to do what she's been doing, and I think let's let her do what she's been trying to do. If there's anything untoward, I hope it's acted on. It's not just swept under the carpet.
Two reports commissioned by Ms Dorr last year will now be the focus of tonight's meeting, including one on workplace culture. In her CEO's report, Ms Dorr says while there's some inappropriate behaviours covered, they're not representative of the whole and there are some favourable comments about new leadership styles. A second independent review found approval processes weren't followed in some instances, and there was a lack of budgeting records for projects including the Gatekeeper's Cottage and Fernery redevelopment.
Watch the development, particularly of the fernery, has just been delightful. So whatever the council do here, I'm actually quite happy with that.
The report also identified $17,000 was spent at one florist from 2017 to 2019 on instruction from the then mayor without pre-approval of council officers.
I think just move on from now on and make sure the controls are in place to make sure it doesn't happen again, basically.
Council declined to comment. Geordie Wright, Win News.
Rural health bodies are calling for regional Aussies to be prioritised for the COVID-19 vaccination. It comes as the federal government launches its vaccine advertisements today ahead of next month's first phase of the rollout.
A message we're set to hear a lot more.
COVID-19 has changed our lives. For us to live more freely, we need the added protection of COVID-19 vaccines.
The government's launched a series of ads ahead of next month's rollout, encouraging people to get vaccinated. And rural health bodies want regional Australians to be considered for an early jab, alongside health workers and those in the aged care industry.
People in rural, regional and remote communities have poorer health outcomes. So if they were to, so that makes them more susceptible to getting COVID-19.
The Alliance is worried health services in the regions will be stretched, with doctors busy administering the vaccine.
And we could just get ourselves into a situation where there's just not enough GPs to go around.
Other health bodies agree how it's rolled out will be critical.
This is part of the focus on making sure that regional Australians are part of that targeted and coordinated approach.
Some are just happy to let the health experts decide when.
It doesn't really faze me who gets it first.
The rollout, however the government sees fit.
Once the timing around who will get vaccinated when is figured out, the challenge will then be how to effectively get access to it, and it's set to be more difficult for people living in rural areas.
It's where we're talking about distance, we're talking around time and small populations.
Will Hogan, Win News.
6 people lost their lives on Victorian roads this unofficial Australia Day long weekend. Police targeted drunk, drugged and speeding drivers, as well as those using phones, and say the safety message is still not getting through.
Almost 3,900 traffic offences were recorded during the 5-day safety blitz. 130 drunk drivers and 136 under the influence of drugs were nabbed.
All available resources were on the road. They were targeting speed, fatigue, distraction, alcohol offences.
Sadly, 6 people were killed over the unofficial long weekend. Police say they continue to see drivers and passengers not wearing seatbelts. Excessive speeds also an ongoing issue, as is dangerous driving in parts of regional Victoria.
We saw a vehicle overtake an unmarked police vehicle at 137 kilometres per hour. Just not acceptable at all at any speed.
Buckling up and slowing down could be the difference between life and death. Police say using a mobile phone while behind the wheel continues to be an ingrained behaviour in some drivers, with 104 people caught over the 5-day period. And for those planning on undertaking more long-distance driving this summer, authorities are urging those behind the wheel to remain vigilant.
Plan your drive to make sure leave yourself plenty of time to get home, to make sure you share the driving where you can and arrive home safely.
Bonnie Barkmeyer, Win News.
Ararat's economy continues to show incredible resilience, with office and retail occupancy rates at an all-time high. Multiple new businesses have opened their doors and are thriving despite the COVID pandemic.
Ararat CBD retailers are bouncing back.
12 months ago, our occupancy was actually lower before COVID than it is now.
A new survey revealed the town's occupancy rates now at a 94% after hitting a low of 89% in June.
And we've actually had to go back a long way. We actually haven't found when it's been this good. It indicates the business community are pretty confident about where they're heading.
And new businesses have opened despite the pandemic.
We realised it was difficult to get Taiwanese food in Ararat, so we, like everyone else, have been travelling to Melbourne to get it. And so we were looking at a business that would be COVID resilient.
Since opening in October, Craig and his wife have seen the business rapidly grow.
We've got pretty much every ethnic background: Taiwanese, Thai, Indonesian, Malaysian, Indian, Sri Lankan. Everyone comes here.
They've gone from stocking 200 products to 2,000.
When we started across the road, our best day was about 50 customers. On a peak day, we get somewhere between 300 and 400 customers.
A positive sign for the future growth of the rural city.
We'd love to be in a position where we had developers who wanted to develop more retail sites in the town. There's plenty of opportunity there. Ararat's always open for business.
Geordie Wright, Win News.
Parents are being urged to enrol their kids in swimming lessons, with a spate of recent drownings a timely reminder of just how dangerous the water can be. Experts say it's crucial children have the necessary skills to look after themselves.
Diving back into the water safely.
What's your favourite thing about swimming? Having lots of fun.
After thousands of kids missed out on swimming lessons over the last year, experts are urging parents to make sure children have the life-saving skills they need before they get in the water.
Their survival skills for when they say they fell in when no one was there with them. And it also works on technique, breathing, and just to be safe when in the water.
Since July 1, there's been 42 reported fatal drownings in Victoria, 15 more than the 5-year average. It's prompted concern some swimmers aren't as competent as they should be.
We only had such a limited number of lessons when we could reopen late into 2020, and we really did see a change in kids' swimming abilities through that time because they weren't getting that weekly getting in and having some fun in the pool.
Parents understand the importance of lessons.
They've been swimming lessons since they were 2. And look, it gives them confidence in the water, the ability to know when they're in danger. So yeah, it's very important.
And while children are learning to swim, it's recommended a guardian over 16 years old who's also a competent swimmer around, just in case something happens.
Children under 5 must have an adult within arm's reach, adult over 16, and children under 10 must be actively supervised.
It's a bit of fun for the kids as well.
I like doing backstroke.
Ruby Cairns, Win News.
When we return tonight, a reminder to drivers as school zones come back into force. Plus, Ballarat businesses pedal support for next month's Cycle Classic.
Can an ad blitz convince more Aussies to get the COVID jab? 6:30.
Hey, they're saying the fire danger rating's extreme. Should we go?
There's no fire around here.
I know embers can spread bushfires as far as 30 kilometres. So you should leave early.
Authorised by the Victorian Government. When we cover things, they last longer. Same goes for you. Twice as many men as women die from melanoma in Australia, which can become deadly quicker than you think. Be sun smart. Save your skin.
Payless
less every day at The Good Guys. Get $100 off this Hisense TV. This Acer Spin laptop only $379. This Dyson vac only $899. And this LG washer only $695. Pay less every day only at The Good Guys.
Changes we've made to help stop the spread need to continue into the future. Remember to keep making COVID-safe choices, like maintaining physical distancing, practicing good hygiene, and wearing a mask when needed. To protect others, stay at home when unwell and get tested for COVID-19. Keep the COVID Safe app active so you can be contacted if needed. Together, let's keep going and stay safe. Find out more at health.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
At Terry White Chemmart, get real deals on trusted brands like pharmacy-only Panadol Osteo, Pain Away and Hydrolite. Shop in-store or online. Real value every day at Terry White Chemmart.
We're just 2 episodes away from the grand finale.
Are you serious?
7:30 tonight.
We don't want to go.
One of your favourites will go.
See ya.
Who goes in a massive ejection?
There'll soon be more parking in Warrnambool CBD, with council currently in the process of buying more land. While the exact location is yet to be revealed, it's expected to add an extra 40 spaces to the city.
Details of the new car park are still under wraps, but there's speculation it'll be behind Timor Street.
We don't know exactly where or how much the cost of the land is to the ratepayers.
It's expected to create around 30 to 40 new spaces to help meet demand created by the new library at Southwest TAFE.
30 new car parks is great, but 30 car parks is just not going to do it, I'm afraid.
Businesses agree.
We are noticing a lot more during the week shopping rather than weekends now, because you just can't access shops quite easily.
They're calling for more free parking in the CBD or designated staff parks.
A lot of people can't get to and from a lot of stores. A lot of people are getting deterred because of the traffic, and it's not easily accessible.
There's currently a review into the number of car parks in the CBD, and it's expected to help determine whether the city has a car park shortage.
There isn't enough public transport, obviously, and that creates a problem.
We can most of the times find a car pretty close to where we're going.
Council's expected to release details of the new site once the sale's finalised.
We don't know at this point if it's free, if it's going to be charged parking, and from a ratepayer point of view, it would be good to know, obviously, how much of our money they have actually spent purchasing that land.
Council was contacted for comment. Hashayla Kumarawansa, Win News.
School speed zones are back as students return to class this week. Police are warning drivers to be extra cautious around schools, with thousands of new pupils crossing unfamiliar roads.
An urgent warning for drivers as some of our youngest locals head back to the classroom.
Of course, school's back this week for 2021. So we're just asking motorists now to remember that school zones, speed zones will be in force as of this week.
School zones are back in force from today. Speed limits will be reduced to 40 kilometres during drop-off and pick-up times.
School kids have been identified as one of our most vulnerable road users. Pedestrian safety around schools is a huge priority for us.
Last financial year, we did still see 35 pedestrians aged 17 and under seriously injured. So whilst we've been great at keeping people alive, we are still seeing some people get injured.
And already there's been too much tragedy on our roads.
This year we've had 12 people killed across the state, but 5 of those have been regionally based.
And when it comes to kids, experts say parents are the best role models.
They learn from us, they'll mimic the things we do, so if you're out with your kids, cross at the crossings and make sure you teach them to look left and right, and also it's important that they listen.
Most students will return to school tomorrow. Ruby Cairns, Win News.
The local business community has rallied to ensure this year's Ballarat Cycle Classic goes ahead. The event raises money for cancer research and a record number of participants is expected.
2020 was difficult for the Fiona Elsie Cancer Research Institute, but things are looking up.
We had to cancel 15 fundraising events, so we're really pleased to be able to put on our major community fundraiser.
Next month's Ballarat Cycle Classic will raise vital funds for cancer research. And while it was feared the event might not go ahead, the local business community's come together to show its support.
Like most or many in the community of Ballarat, it's affected both sides of our family. So yeah, we're really honoured to be involved again this year.
Without our sponsors, it just wouldn't be possible. 100% of all the registrations and donations from this event go to cancer research.
With an increase in the number of walkers and cyclists around the lake during the pandemic, there's hopes the 2021 event will smash the existing participant record.
Registrations are going really strong. We're up to where we have been in past years at this time. So we're really feeling that people are looking forward to coming together.
It's just a great community event, and over the years Ballarat people have got behind it. So again this year it'd be fantastic for everyone to get behind it and raise some money and enjoy the day.
The foundation's hoping to raise $150,000 at the February 21 event. Sam Mills, Win News.
It's time to jump on the bike with tonight's sports report. Here's Steph Atkins, and Steph, the Ballarat Rush has a new signing.
They certainly do, Bruce. Christy Rinaldi will make a comeback from retirement, and the winners of the National Beach Volleyball Champs on the Murray.
What is vaccine tourism and why is it on the rise? The Project 6:30.
When you update your home's air conditioning, you'll want air that saves energy. A lot of energy. Keep watching.
Hey, you there. Powerball has jackpotted to $8 million. Get moving. Grab your ticket now.
Play now in-store at thelot.com or on the Lot app.
Got Manshake? Get expert advice on your weight loss goals at your local Terry White Chemmart. The Manshake
and the Lady Shake
at Terry White Chemmart. Now that's real chemistry.
Discover new details about your family history with Ancestry. Simply type in a name and let Ancestry guide you on a journey of discovery. Start searching for free at ancestry.com.au.
OMG, what a night. I probably look like... Shut up, my skin looks amazing.
New Olay Retinol 24 Night Serum. Look how plump and bouncy. Girl, it really works.
Dream Summer Deals catalogue out now. 9-piece Dynamo Lounge Suite, $34.99. 3-piece Ibis Leather Recliner Suite, $34.99. 5-piece Atlas Dining, $11.99. Knock on Wood, Portland and Warrnambool and Home Flare Hamilton.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of easy dinners with your favourite pastas like Coles brand Durham wheat spaghetti, spirals, penne, macaroni and more. Down to just $1 each for a 500-gram pack. Coles, value the Australian way.
The art of the light lunch. Step 1. Open Hans lunch plate with crackers, relish, cheese and delicious meat. Step 2. Eat it? A simple yet lavish light lunch. Hans.
It's actually Hans.
Update your home's air conditioning and save a lot of energy. With Mitsubishi Electric. Works for me.
You know what? Australia and the world have problems and we need to solve them all.
In the new season,
here I go.
Hughesy's solving problems on a global scale.
And this is the show where we make our problems your problems. No, that's the other way around.
Monday, February 8th on Win.
Welcome back. One of Ballarat's most experienced basketballers has signed on for the 2021 season. Former Rush captain Christy Rinaldi will pull on the Navy jersey for the first time in 3 years, and her 300th game is just around the corner.
As Ballarat's next generation of basketballers honed their skills at a school holiday camp, one of the city's most experienced players announced she would be pulling on the Navy jersey once again.
I love playing here. I'm born and bred here. I love the fans and I can't wait. I'm really excited to be back playing with Ballarat Rush.
A former captain, Rinaldi retired at the end of 2018 but was signed to return to the club ahead of the cancelled 2020 season. With 297 appearances, the Rush Games record holder can't wait to mentor the developing squad.
I try and be a leader all the time. You know, we do have a young squad and I've certainly seen the improvements from when I was back in 2018 to now, so just trying to help the team any way I can.
To have that sort of experience on the court is vitally important and such a good mentor and leader for the group, which will be a fairly young group this year.
Been to a few training sessions and I'm probably feeling the fittest I've ever felt, so it's probably been a good time to have a year off.
Rinaldi is the latest in a string of signings for Ballarat, with hopes high for both the Rush and Miners ahead of the NBL 1 season.
We're looking forward to getting players back out on the court. We're building some really good, a really good list for both rosters, both male and female. So we're looking very good for 2021.
Sam Mills, Win News.
In another day of great tennis at Bendigo's UTR Pro Tour, Sydney's Alexandra Osborne cruised through her two-set match against Brisbane's Zara Lark. After taking a year off due to injury, Osborne now has her sights on the upcoming WTA Tour.
Alexandra Osborne showed no sign of injury in one of her first tournaments back after battling what she jokes were little issues.
I had surgery on my back and have a hip issue, so yeah, a few little injuries going on, but I'm just managing them as best as I can.
Taking on Zara Lark, she opened her account winning the first set 6-4. Breaking serve, she took the lead 2-love in the second set. Her consistency wearing down Lark as the set went on. With 2 match points up her sleeve, Osborne stayed on top at the baseline, forcing Lark's backhand. Then approaching the net, she put away a smash, closing out the second set 6-1 and taking the match. Boosted by her win, she's excited to be back playing.
Getting out there, getting some matches under my belt, gaining some confidence and trying to get into some WTAs obviously in the next few weeks.
In men's matches, 26-year-old Jai Corbett won the first set against 20-year-old Ken Kavrak 6-2. Breaking serve, Corbett took an early lead in the second set, closing the set 7-5 and winning the match. While Bryden Klein took on Alex Bolte in one of the day's most intriguing encounters. Klein edged out Bolte in 2 sets, 7-6, 6-1. Grace Aiken, Win News.
More than 1,500 kilometres south of Surfers Paradise, the best beach volleyballers in the country were treated to a different landscape this week. The national tour returned to the banks of the mighty Murray to fight it out for gold.
There was plenty of elite action at Cobram's picturesque Thompson's Beach today.
There's not many places around Australia that you can see koalas sitting in the tree, kangaroos bouncing by, and also playing some beach volleyball. It's brilliant.
Athletes played for gold medal honours on the banks of the mighty Murray River, a bit different to Bondi.
Sounds a bit deeper and it's a bit wet a lot of the time, but it's nice here, so it's quite good.
And the week's thrown up its challenges, competitors forced to battle the elements as well as the opponent on the opposite side of the net.
Yeah, it's been tough. We've had some tough conditions with 42 degrees and stuff, and raining yesterday, but we've all been toughing it out. It's been really good competition, actually.
And with up to 300 athletes and their families in town for a week, the injection into the local economy is welcomed after a tough holiday period.
Lots of people tell us it's their first time they've ever been here because of the event, but they certainly intend to come back and holiday, which is great too.
The women's final was all New South Wales and it came down to the wire. Steffi Fayesh and Jessie Mann taking the gold medal in 3 sets. The WA boys can add a win at Thompson's Beach to their resume. Corbin Phillips and Tom Dempsey taking the men's title from their Queensland opponents 2-0. Joe Wilkie, Win News.
And Bruce, that is our midweek sport.
Thank you very much for that, Steph. Now, you're saying you're shivering just a moment ago. It is good news, warmer tomorrow, but there are some showers on the way. Your full forecast in just a moment.
Up next, can a $24 million ad blitz help convince more Aussies to get a COVID vaccine? What will our lives look like if Google does pull its go-to search service from Australia? Plus, nurse-turned-comedian Georgie Carroll administers 50 cc's of laughter into the show Stat. The project, next.
Laser Cut Fire Pits. Create your own unique fire pit with a design of your own or choose from a range of pre-made pieces. Great for the backyard, footy club promotional items or a gift for absolutely anyone. Shipped Australia-wide. Visit lasercutfirepits.com.au.
Spend, save, shop. Get $10 off your next shop when you spend $75 or more at Cheapers Chips. Some T's and C's apply. So spend, save, shop, and live cheaper at Cheapers Chips.
Thinking solar? Think Solar Run, a national company with a new branch in Hamilton providing local services to southwest Victoria. This means they can offer low prices on reliable, high-performance systems with solid warranties. Call David for your free quote and savings estimate.
Wobble Tea sprinklers. For large areas, Australian made and owned. Award-winning for their efficiency with add-on ability. And for smaller areas, use the clever drop sprinkler, also with add-on ability. Wobble Tea, celebrating 22 years of Australian manufacturing. Available from leading hardware stores and rural retail outlets. Visit wobbletea.com.au.
Satellite broadband has been taken to the next level with Sky Master Plus from Activate Me. With more of your internet usage now unmetered, you can save your metered data allowance for streaming and VPN services from only $59.95 per month. Call 13 22 88.
When something goes wrong and you're injured on the road, you need the right advice. Contact Shine Lawyers to get the compensation you're entitled to.
Yeah, I've heard Shine can help.
Shine Lawyers. Let's right wrong.
Leave early on extreme or above days. Go to emergency.vic.gov.au.
Hello again. It was another cool one today, but a severe weather warning for damaging winds has also been issued. Now, that system wreaked havoc in Ballarat. Wind gusts up to 70 k's an hour, the temperature ranging between 8 and 21. Colac had 13 degrees this morning, but the apparent temperature was more like 6 for those bitterly cold winds. Also windy for Portland, ranging between 12 and 19. Maryborough hit a top of 21. The top for the region, though, was Warwick-Nabil with 29. Nil hitting a top also of 29. On the charts, a high-pressure system to our south is moving east, while a low-pressure trough deepens over inland Australia. That high will settle while the deepening trough will extend into western Victoria and cross the state Friday. On the waters, a gale warning is in place for the west coast tomorrow, up to 35 knots. On the land, though, humid and partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers in the evening and possible storms about the north. We should see Colac up to a top of 25 tomorrow. Warrnambool 14 tonight, 26 tomorrow. Casterton seeing 30 degrees tomorrow. Stawell up to 27 tomorrow. Warmer, of course, for the north. Nil up to 31 degrees. For Ballarat, 12 degrees tonight. Possible showers throughout the day, hitting a top of 25. Melbourne similar, 27 degrees. Locally, though, Friday will be humid with showers. Heavy falls are possible with isolated thunderstorms. Saturday looking cloudy with a slight chance of showers. Then Sunday partly cloudy with light winds. So keep dry tomorrow, but thank you for your company tonight, this Wednesday, January 27. That is how we saw your news across Western Victoria. If you'd like to find out what you can do to help secure the future of local media, please visit saveourvoices.com.au. I'll see you tomorrow at 6. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.